fear that it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Turn my music down. It's time to party. What's up, guys? Happy Friday night. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Friday night. First off, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I want to do that. Hit the wrong button. Once again, I can't, my chat is not playing nicely on my OBS, but that's okay. I got it all situated. Let me say my hellos. Man, you don't do this for 2 weeks and then you feel like you're learning to walk again, right? Yep. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. Loud and clear. Adrian, how you doing? Mega Cat, Nathan Mills, Gory Tiger, Scott Lauderdale, Erica, how you doing? Dave Vanderhoff, what's up, brother? Mega Cat, Nuclear Fusion. Did I say Gory Tiger? I think I said Gory Tiger. Kara Morasco. Kara might be new here. I don't think I've seen Kara before. Welcome, if this is your first time. Amber Hill, how are you doing? KCC. David Thorson. A lot of familiar faces. Polly, did I say Polly? I better have, right? Destiny, how you doing? Happy Friday. You guys having a good Friday? Let me see if I can. I wonder if I can make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? What if I close that? Would that make that big? Oh, shit. That works. I love that. That's nice. So I closed the little chat window and it went boom. It opened up my actual desktop. You don't care about that bullshit, right? You don't care about that bullshit. Max Wilkins. Everybody say hi, Max. How you doing? This is Max's first DDLive. All right. And it's as unprofessional as it could possibly ever get. No, it's not. We're gonna roll through it, right, guys? Hell yeah. I got a it could be jam-packed. It could be jam-packed. I don't know if it's jam-packed or not. First off, how are you guys doing? What have you guys been doing? Anything big in your life over the last couple of weeks? I know last weekend I had Dave and Bruce on, and man, I tell you, they're putting the work in, right? That's what you got to do when you're doing a crowdfunding campaign. I'm telling you, you got to put the work in. You got to put in the man hours to study the science, right? To get those people to come out and support. Yeah. Vinny, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah. Oh man. So I got a few things. I wrote down some different topics that we could discuss. One of them's from Killer Flicks. Just today, I posted in Killer Flicks, give me some of your favorite prank horror. I came up with that. I coined that term. I get paid a nickel anytime you guys use that from here on out as of 8:08 of this day, okay? So prank horror. I coined it. And basically I was asking, give me, because there's so many horror movies that there's a prank and it just goes completely wrong, and then we're off to the races. We're off and running, right? So yeah, man. Yeah, April Fool's Day. There, boy, that's that might be the number one. We'll get there now. Everybody, hold back. Don't start throwing out your prank horror yet. All right. Right now, we're just you know, come and see you. What do you call it? What do we call that down south? Now, let me ask you. And some of you are from the South, right? Some of you are from the South, and some of you might be from the Midwest. Might have this thing too. When I was growing up, when we would have company over, the company, when they would leave, stay with me here. The company they would leave, Carly, what's up, Carly? They would say, y'all come go with us. I'm not making that up. The company, like, and just to flip it, when my parents went over to a friend's house, or even like family or whatever, you know, cousins, whatever, when we would leave, it was customary to say, y'all come go with us, right? Y'all come go with us. And what the? My whole life, I've always wondered, like, why? What is up with y'all come go with us? Because nobody ever goes with them, right? Like, that has never, ever happened where somebody says, okay, and they just get right up off the couch and then they go out the door with the company. And also, if they do go with them, where are they going to go? Am I just a weirdo? Like, am I the only one that had that back home? I don't know. Yeah, Erica. I was wondering if anybody had ever heard that before. Destiny's probably heard of it. She's from freaking Texas. They got some weirdos in Texas just like they do in Mississippi. So we've said y'all come back now, but not that. Y'all come back now. You hear? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that sounds normal to say y'all come back, but y'all come go with us. That's weird. That's just a weird thing to say. And I'm going to tell my mom that too. I'll say, Mom, on my live stream this week, I broke open y'all come go with us to see if anybody else, and so far, I guess maybe it's just, maybe there's a cult in Mississippi and everybody that it consists of says that. I don't know. I knew nobody would have ever heard of that before. Wait, hold on. Jonathan Nichols. I'm from Georgia. I've heard it before. Thank you, Jonathan. I knew somebody would. I just said I knew nobody would. It's weird. It's definitely deep south, Beth. It's definitely deep south. Yeah. Texas. So, guys, give me a saying that is like regional, you know, to your neck of the woods. What's a saying that you think might be a little weird to other people, you know? I'm trying to think, what are some, I know we probably got at least 5 of them, right? At least 5 different sayings from Mississippi. Man. The South, I tell you, it's something else. You know what's weird about me, though? I'll tell you a little bit about me, right? We always talk about horror, but I'll talk about me for a little bit. All right? I'll talk a little bit about me. I've always considered but don't get me wrong, guys. I'm proud of my Southern heritage. I love that I grew up in the South. Yes, thank you, Destiny. Calling all sodas a Coke. That's something we did back then. You want a Coke? Yeah, what kind? It's the weirdest thing. I'll take a Sprite. Yep. We don't say pop down south. Can you get me a pop? Nobody ever says that. Forget about it. That's Dave. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So I'm from Mississippi, and the weirdest thing about me is that I'm not into hunting. Not really. I'm not into like fishing. As a matter of fact, I've only been fishing, I think, 1 time in my entire life. I don't really like country music that much. Now, don't get me wrong. If I go digging, there's some good country music out there. All right. I've had friends introduce me to some country music that's actually pretty decent. But for the most part, like, let's just say the country station that you go on, especially today's country, I don't really listen to it that much, you know. But having said that, I respect all different types of music. I know that sounds like I'm trying to, like, crab walk, but no, I'm not. I'm just being serious. As I've grown older and as I, you know, have my musical tastes have matured, I like to think, I appreciate all different types of music. I really do. But that doesn't mean you have to love every type of music, right? I will say though, I do have a soft spot for 90s, like early 90s country music. I like when I was in high school, Garth Brooks was really huge. And Garth Brooks was, he kind of introduced a new flavor of country. You might call it pop country, even though I don't consider Garth pop, but I think you know what I mean. So I liked Garth Brooks. I like George Strait, those guys. But I'm not the type of guy that just like has a freaking, like, I don't have a massive country collection. All right? I guess that's how you tell what type of music somebody likes. People can say they love all different types of music all day, but until you look at their collection, you don't really know exactly. That's how you tell exactly what they like. What will they buy? What will their wallet speak? So yeah, I guess the point I was trying to make was, I guess I always felt I was kind of a northern kid born in a southern state, if that makes sense. Because I never I like heavy metal. That's what I like. Although a lot of country people like heavy metal. So I don't know. Most of my friends were into hunting and fishing. That's what I'm saying, all right? And I wasn't really that into hunting and fishing growing up. Prince. Oh, my God. Thank you, Polly. Now we're talking. Matter of fact, guys, tell me this. I want to know more about you. What was the very first CD, album, cassette tape, and maybe even... basically what I'm after is, what's the first musical artist that you bought with your own money, or maybe you were given it for Christmas or something like that. For me, it was the two things, okay? Two things. And this says a lot about my taste in music, all right? I was probably 10 years old for Christmas, and the very first 2 cassette tapes I ever got was Prince, Purple Rain, and Quiet Riot, Mental Health. How weird is that? You couldn't pick 2 different types of music, but that's what I got. And I grew up listening to a lot of the new wave stuff on the radio. I think radio was better back then. And I might be boomering. I might be dating myself, I think radio was much better back in like the 80s and maybe the early 90s. Although there's some great 90s music too, but I'm talking about radio, Like now on the radio, I'm a rock guy, I'm a metal guy, and if I turn it on your grassroots rock station, I'm usually like, yeah. Are you guys like that? Like your favorite type of music, you can't go to that station. You have to venture out and go find it on Spotify, what you really like, because everything they play on the radio is just, it's not for me. All right, it's not for me. They've coined a new term for it, right? It's called butt rock. Have you guys heard that term? Butt rock? I just literally heard that term like I think last year. And yeah, like Nuclear Fusion saying there, you might catch some White Zombie, you might catch some Tool, you might catch some 9 Inch Nails. You'll definitely catch some Metallica on the radio. And I like Metallica. I'm not a Metallica fanatic, but I like some Metallica. But man, it seems like the growing trend these days is to play what they call butt rock. Butt rock, and the term came from, nothing but rock. That's all. That's all we play. Nothing but rock. But really, all they play is like Nickelback, Shinedown, what I call almost like the southern metal. For lack of a better phrase. Seether, which I'll say I like Seether. I do like Seether. They're from South Africa. But, yeah, it's just like 9 times out of 10 on the radio, unless you like listen to it at night, like a certain time of day, on rock stations, I usually go over to like 80s stations or new wave stations or, That's why I guess I listen to my Spotify so much. My Spotify playlist, I'm constantly updating that thing. I'm constantly playing stuff off of it. And, yeah, I'm always venturing out trying to find new music that I don't know grabs me, right? And I guess that's a good. Let me read some of your things. Hold on, Okay. Butt rock is like Nickelback and Creed. Thank you very much, Smudge. I love 80s music and 70s and 90s music, Lee. I think every decade has its good music and its bad music. Adrian James, I was into NXS. Love NXS. Big NXS fan. Ashley says, I've never heard of that term, Lee. Butt rock. Well, see, Ashley, that's why you come to your DDLive, because you're always going to learn something, right? That's my goal. I want to teach my audience something. So there you go. MegaCast says Adrian saw them in concert. New Confusion, SiriusXM, Pandora, and Spotify for me mainly. I listen to SiriusXM because I listen to Howard Stern. You know, I've been listening to Howard Stern since the early '90s or maybe mid '90s. Which is funny because just today I heard that Howard's like they're trying to cancel him for shit that he he said back in the freaking like 90s, and the guy there's a reason they call him the shock jock, you know. It's funny. Erica said Metallica helped me survive high school. Yep. Destiny why did I say your last name, Destiny? It's kind of like hold on barbecue. I saw barbecue in there. Hold on. It's kind of like rock that could be played at a barbecue on a summer day. Yeah, that's good. And, I don't hate that stuff, but it's just like, give me some variety on a rock station, Give me some variety. Let's see. Howard Stern, every morning? Illin morning? Anybody remember the rumor that if you dialed the barcode on Thriller, it was really Michael Jackson's phone number? Oh, I've never heard that one, Polly. That's interesting. There's no way that's true. There's no way. Because then there would have been a shitload of people calling his house, right? Didn't he do blackface? Who do blackface? How I heard that just today. What was it on Double Toasted? And they said something about Howard doing blackface, but I've been listening to Howard for 30 years. Not once did I ever remember him doing blackface. Okay? I could be wrong. I'll go back and check, but I don't remember. Matter of fact, I'll even say this. I've never once heard Howard be racist towards... he makes fun of everybody, but I've never heard him say this race is better than this race. You know what I mean? Never once. So... there's a lot of shit that people say on the media, guys, and let me tell you right now, do your own research, all right? If you don't listen to Howard Stern and then you go to, some random site and they tell you Howard Stern said he doesn't like black people, or make sure you do your research before you automatically just believe that, because you can't really depend on everything you see in the media these days. All right? Even if I say it, don't take my word for it. Right? Nighttime says, I checked out the Elder album. I actually like the Oath song by Kiss. Yes. Oh my God. The Oath is a kick-ass track. I would even say it's borderline metal, that song. It's a 4-on-the-floor blistering track. It really is. I think it's just kind of hidden in the Elder, and people... they don't realize that track is on there. And by the way, I love the whole album, actually. Really, it's the only Kiss album to me that the entire album feels like an experience, if that makes sense. Like this, like the sum is better than its parts, right? So, anybody else like Chinese Democracy by GNR, Alan? I listened to Chinese Democracy a couple times. I can appreciate what Axl was going for with that album, but I can't listen to it. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's not a fun album to just kind of vibe to. I don't know. But maybe I haven't given it enough tries. Hey, I bought Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 day one at the record store. I was one of those guys that waited in line back in 1991 to get both of the CD. Remember back in the day, some of you guys, like Dave Vanderhoff, Polly might remember this. The CDs, they had this tall piece of cardboard, and they would stuff the CD inside the cardboard. And that cardboard had like art from the... Why did they do that? I never understood that. It was like a big waste of paper, right? Huge Guns N' Roses fan back in the day. You know, I loved those albums. I wore them out. As a matter of fact, I still have those CDs that I bought. I never rebought them. I still have the original CDs that I bought. But Chinese Democracy, it ain't Guns N' Roses. All right, it ain't Guns N' Roses. Just doesn't feel like it. I was one of those guys that bought Injustice for All back in '89 when it came out, and that's really when. Everybody says the Black Album is when everybody got into Metallica, and that may be true. That's when the masses got into Metallica. But I remember a lot of people buzzing and talking when Injustice for All came out, you know? But it wasn't to the scale that the Black Album was. See, Beth says, does anyone else buy music on physical format, or do you just stream both? For me, it's both. I mean, you can't get away from streaming, you know? And you know, well, I mean, I love freaking vinyl. I'll tell you that right now. I'm hooked on vinyl, but I don't buy everything, you know? Like, I'm going to show you a new vinyl that I just got in the mail, but that's going to be part of a segment that I'm going to be clipping out of this, okay? So, guys, do any of you guys buy vinyl? And one thing about vinyl is that it really jumped back up. And I think they even say vinyl has outsold all other forms of physical media for music. And I think there's a reason for that. I think there's a couple reasons for that. One, nostalgia. Nostalgia is so huge today. Two, I think digital music pushed CDs away. You know, it became so easy. The iPod, when the iPod came out, you could, you know, put freaking 300 songs on an iPod or whatever, you know, MP3 players and all that. When that came around, a lot less people were buying CDs. But then around the same time, this whole retro movement started picking up. And after a while, people got used to the digital age, and then they wanted to kind of experience what it was like back in the 70s. And maybe even 60s and 80s. And so vinyl, I think, is the most visually enticing format. You know, it's more of an experience than CD. CDs, you take the disc out, you put it in, you hit play. Vinyl, you open it up. You take out the big record. You get to look inside at this massive, beautiful artwork. You're a little bit more careful with it, you know. Whereas, remember back in the day, CDs, not that I would do this, but some people, they take a CD and they just freaking toss it against the wall, you know. I feel like people, they tend to take care of records more than they do CDs. And maybe that's because records are a little bit more fragile. I don't know. Halloween is the best horror franchise. Wesley, come on now. Hold on. Just calm down. We're going to get there, buddy. We're going to get there. All right. Beth says there's a ritual with vinyl. Yeah. A lot of times, every time, when I'm about to make a video, when I come up here, or before I stream, my whole ritual, like Beth said, is I come up here about an hour, maybe 30 minutes before I do anything. You know, if I'm going to stream or I'm going to record, I put on a record on my record player there, my Vitrola record player. If you want to buy that record player, go in the info box. I have links to all my gear. But yeah, and I like the experience. Even before I play the damn thing, I just like, you know, pulling it out. Sometimes I'll blow it off like, you know, and then I'll, even if there's no dust on there, I just go like that. And then I put it on there and I just wait. And I as soon as I drop the needle, I hear that. And music to my ears. It's music to my ears. I freaking love it. Erica says, Lee, Halloween is the best franchise. Great. Now we can just BS the rest of the stream. Hey, BSing's fun, right? I love doing this shit. But yeah, it's a fun little experience, you know? Hey, well, you know what? We're little freaking ants on this rock floating around in space, and we got to do something to pass the time, right? Why not listen to a record? So, yeah. Static. Right, Carly? There you go. Friday the 13th beats Halloween. See, here we go. We're going to get there. First thing I want to do This will be the beginning of the first clip. All right. I am going to going to be reviewing the new Sleep Token album. I just got the record in the mail, and I'll show you the record. Hold on. Oh. All right, guys. Look at this shit. Holy shit. That is Take Me Back to Eden, I think it's called Take Me Back to Eden. This is the new Sleep Token record. Before I review the album, I will tell you a little bit about my brief introduction to Sleep Token. This is part of the process of vinyl, though. You know, you open it up. This actually has like a bunch of. Let me see. Hold on. These like cards, these big cards. Or is that a poster? Yeah. So, and you can see, like, if you look at their singles on Spotify, they have these images, these different images. Yeah, I'm not going to show you all of them. But yeah, this is a booklet, and I think it has a different image for each track on this album. Isn't that cool? So I think I want, like, if there's 12 tracks on this album, there's an image signifying that track, which is really, really cool. Okay, Sleep Token is a band that I discovered through Spotify, funny enough. On my playlist on Spotify, I guess when it runs out, Spotify will just automatically play music to whatever genre they think you like. And if it's a song that I like, I'm listening. If it's a song I like, I hold my phone up and I'm like, ooh, what is this? Hold on. Like I just did this yesterday. The song that they played, I liked it. So I save it to that playlist, right? And then I go back and if I really, really like the band, I might research. And by the way, 99.9% of the time, I don't go researching a new band. All right. I should, but because I don't have much time, I don't. Something grabbed me with Sleep Token that I haven't experienced in, I am not going to lie, 30 years. And that last band that grabbed me like that was Tool. 30 years ago. Tool, to this day, is my favorite band. Okay? And there's a lot of other bands that I like. You know, I'm big Deftones fans, big Silverchair, you know, and so on. There's a lot of bands that I like. I'm very particular about my bands, but Kiss, of course, Joy Division. Joy Division is one of my favorite bands, but Sleep Token is one of those bands that just really grabbed me. I was listening to this song, The Summoning, which is on this album. By the way, when they released this song, The Summoning, the fucking internet blew up. Okay? TikTok made this band massive. They went from, I want to say, 300,000 followers or listens on Spotify. And as soon as they released The Summoning, that track, they jumped up to like 1.5 million overnight. It was insane. And ever since then, they've dropped I think they've dropped like 4 or 5 tracks. Hold on. But The Summoning, and it's no joke. This isn't a gimmick. The Summoning is such a, dare I say, groundbreaking track. I mean, it's unique. It's unlike anything that I've heard in years. It's kind of, no, it is genre bending. You know, the first half of the track is more metal. Now, you guys, I know there's, you know, at least 37 different branches of metal. So I don't know all the names. Post-hardcore. There's a little bit of that in this. You know, you get the screaming and everything. But I'll just say, for lack of a better term, it feels like metal. And then all of a sudden it turns into this, what you would call like sex metal. Like, and if you've heard the song, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. It's sexy sounding. All right. That's the best way to put it. So they released this song called Chokehold. which is the song. They released that before the Summoning, so I went back and listened to Chokehold. Loved it. Great. It's more simplistic in nature, but still sounds unique and very sexy. It's a sexy track. Okay, Vessel's voice is, I mean, wow, the guy's got a great freaking voice. It's mesmerizing. I think their image adds to the whole thing because, you know, nobody knows who these guys are. Their names haven't been released. They wear masks. As a matter of fact, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's Vessel. That's the lead singer, Vessel. Nobody knows what these people look like, all right? But, man, his voice is insane. So let's just say they've released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the songs before the album actually came out. The album came out today officially. I got the record a few days ago. Okay, so what did I say? 6. There's 12. So there's 6 new songs that nobody's heard yet. Here was my worry. That they front-loaded the releases and they released all the good stuff, and then when you get the album, it's all the other stuff is going to be subpar. Okay, I did go and I listened to the other 6 songs today. They are as good as, if not better, than the material that's been released. I'll even say probably better. There is not a bad song on this album. It is fantastic. And this is after 1 listen. I've given it kind of 2 listens because I was listening to it a little bit more before this. In my car, I gave it you got to give it the car test because you got the stereo and all that. But wow, this is one of the best albums I've heard in ages. I just listened to like Smashing Pumpkins' new album. Well, I got to correct myself. I listened to the first song and I was like, okay, I'm done. And Smashing Pumpkins is one of my favorite freaking bands. That's one band that I forgot to mention. Freaking Siamese Dream, Gish, Melancholy. Those 3 albums are essential 90s rock albums. Fantastic. Billy Corgan, musical genius. The stuff he's been putting out lately, my opinion, not that great. You might have 1 or 2 songs that kind of stick out, but for the most part, I think he's ran out of steam. All right, that's just my opinion. So I listened to Smashing Pumpkins, the first song on their new album, and I'm like, okay, that's all I need to hear. I'm done. This album by Sleep Token, and by the way, they have 2 albums out. I think 2 albums before this, Sundowning, and you guys might know what's the other album called. I can't remember. I've listened to almost every track on both those albums. Really good. This album is even like miles better than those 2 albums. The production is bigger. The songs are better, better produced. Just wow. This album is fantastic. So I've talked about the Summoning. I've talked about Chokehold. I'll say this: the tracks that really stick out on this album are Ascensionism. And I think if you want to know what Sleep Token's all about, listen to that track, Ascensionism, because I would say there's 3 different genres, or just 3 different musical emotions in that track, because it starts off with a light piano, just piano, Vessel's voice, then it turns into this almost poppy sounding middle section. This isn't, for the most part, a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out type of band. You'll get some of that in there, but what I'm trying to say is they're very unpredictable about which direction they're going to go with their songs, which this is the part that I can kind of compare to Tool, because Tool, they don't think in terms of verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out when they write a song. They start with just a single riff, and they make every song into a journey. Where can we take this? How far can we push this? Where can it go? Most bands don't really do that, I don't think. At least the ones I like. And even the bands I love, like, say, Deftones, are a little bit more simplistic in their nature, and that's fine because it works. Deftones has some of the freaking sexiest, greatest freaking songs ever written, you know? Chino is a lyrical genius, a vocal master. Just like, I'll already say that. Like Vessel, wow. The guy's amazing. So I'd say Ascensionism is great because of, you know, those two aspects. And then the third part of that song turns into more metal, right? All these tracks, they just really surprise you, keep you on your toes. My phone is ringing. And you never know where it's going to go. That's what's great about this album. So now there's this other track I want to talk about is Are You Really Okay? This track surprised me the most. And if you had to pick a track that, you know, top 40 hit right there, that track right there, I could hear it on the radio. It could be a massive hit. That's the track. And I'd say it's probably the most accessible track on the record too. But that doesn't take anything away from the track's genius. It almost sounds, the guitar at the beginning has a little bit of a southern twang, if that makes sense. And the message of the song is really somber and kind of sad at times. Like I was reading through the comments on YouTube, and some of the people were saying that's the track where you're going to be crying by the end of it. So I think do you wish that you loved me? It's DYWTYLM. That's the name. That's the name of the track. That is a very unique sounding track. You know, I wish I could play some of this stuff for you guys, but every time I try to play Sleep Token, the stream gets taken down. So I don't want to do that. You know what? Here's what I can do. Hold on. I can play you like just little bitty samples. What's up, Chris? Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. What's up, guys? Is that Darren? Is that you, Darren? Okay. Let me see if I can get away with this. All right, just to give you a taste of what this music is like. Yeah, okay, so I'll tell you what. Here's like a sample of The Summoning. So this is a song that goes through a lot of different moods too. And then when you get to this end part here, and that's the part that kind of like the internet was like, what the fuck? Holy shit, what is that? Okay. Now I'll play you a little bit of this Are You Really Okay? That song I was just talking about. Like that sounds like something you could hear at the beginning of a Dolly Parton song. Am I right? Yeah, this I'm telling you, during this stream or after this stream, go listen to this whole track. It's so good. And then it kind of progresses into this. Man, his voice is amazing. And then you get like... So this is one of those songs that just kind of gradually builds along the way, you know? Oh, yeah. And Vore, holy shit. VORE. This will be the last track I talk about, okay? This... Just to give you another idea of what you get with this band. Now, if that was the first time you'd ever heard Sleep Token, a lot of you would dismiss that band. You'd be like, "Oh, that's not for me." You know, it's for you. That's fine. I'm not into the screaming stuff. And I'll even say there's only 2 songs on this album that I counted, maybe 3. Where Vessel screams, but when he screams in a song, it's not through the whole song. You know, like this song right here. Yeah, so that's Vor. That's probably one of the best tracks on there if you are a metalhead and you just want straight up metal, but still heavy emotion, a lot of mood. Yeah, Vor really gives the metalheads what they want, okay? But, I mean, I'm a metalhead, and I love every freaking track on this album. It's so freaking good. So, man, this will be for me the album to beat this year. I mean, I know I'm a little biased because I'm just so into this band right now, but yeah, Take Me Back to Eden. Wow, this is a freaking. I don't like using the word masterpiece, especially when I just heard the album, but yeah, man, it's such a great album. And you know, when I was telling you all my different musical influences, bands that I like, you can tell that I'm a pretty versatile music lover. You know, I love pop, you know, like Prince. Prince is one of my favorite artists. I love Michael Jackson. I love my metal. But to be like the cream of the crop, to really rise above everything when you get in, like, say, my top 5, I don't know if Sleep Token's in my top 5. They might be, but they're damn close. Like, this album is on Spotify right now. You can listen to the whole thing. Take Me Back to Eden. It's an experience. The whole album is an experience. You're gonna get so many different emotions. It's a musical journey throughout, and man, I love this album so much. And I fully expected to come on here and say they released all the good songs. The rest of the albums, it's okay. But no, it's so good, so good. So yeah, that's my review of Sleep Token's new album. You got to get it. Wow. I mean, I'd even say, like, people that don't like rock would probably like some of the stuff on this album. All right? Yeah. Mike Cinema, what's up, man? Okay, let me take a drink. Hold on. I'm all fired up now. Jesus. Guys, give me your top 3 favorite musical artists. Top 3 favorite musical artists. I want to know your favorites, all right? I didn't mention Dream Theater. I went through a really massive Dream Theater phase for a good 20 years. Seriously. I got into them like in 92, 93 with Images and Words. And, oh man, I became obsessed with that band. Up until Mike Portnoy, the drummer, left the band. Then I kind of stopped. Plus, even when Mike Portnoy was with them, they weren't completely consistent with every one of their albums. You know, I'd say Octavarium is probably one of their best. Images and Words, of course. Awake. Those are probably my 3 favorite Dream Theater albums. Okay. Chris, what's up, man? He says Slipknot, Tool, Ice Nine Kills. Yep. I've really been into Ice Nine Kills lately, for sure. I mean, to be able to create a song out of all these different horror properties and make them great, and even make them like really heavy and hard hitting, no easy feat, you know? Like, they have this ability to actually make the song, even if like the lead singer doesn't even sing, just the music itself feels like the actual franchise. They're very talented, for sure. Erica says Duran Duran. I saw Metallica in there too. I love Duran Duran. Big Duran Duran. I love Depeche Mode. Rosalia says The Cure, of course. Pink Floyd, Nine Inch Nails, sorry, and Descendants, Scott Lauderdale. I've heard of the Descendants before. Anthony Solo, Iron Maiden. Yep. I'm a casual Maiden fan. Like, I don't own do I even own any Iron Maiden albums? I don't think I do, but when they're on the radio, like, I've had buddies that they're just like Maiden fanatics, you know? I think I prefer Queensryche. But yeah, they're good. I mean, the freaking the fan base that Iron Maiden has created, that doesn't go unnoticed, for sure. Dave says Kiss, Third Eye Blind, and Rush. Third Eye Blind's a surprise. Rush. I love Rush. La Villa Strangiato. Man, that's a freaking track right there. La Villa Strangiato. Man, that's one of the best instrumental tracks I've ever heard. Too many to pick. I'd say Michael, Prince, Madonna, and Janet. Those are good. One. Yep. August Burns Red and Breaking Benjamin. I like both those. I saw Breaking Benjamin in concert, actually, a few years ago. Really good. Slaughterland Movie Podcast says Def Leppard. Peter Gabriel. Ghost. Respect on that one. Definitely. I love Peter Gabriel. I love Genesis. One of my favorite Genesis tracks is Mama. Was Peter Gabriel in Genesis when they did Mama, though? I don't think they were. That's a great song. Beth says Queen, Journey, The Darkness, and Foxy Shazam. That's a very eclectic music taste, Beth. Yeah. Erica says she loves Coldplay. You know, I think a lot of guys, they think it's not cool to like Coldplay. You know? They think it's cool to hate Coldplay. I don't hate Coldplay. I think they have some good songs. I'm a casual Coldplay fan. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I saw Queensryche in concert, but it doesn't count because Jeff Tate wasn't there, you know? So, man, that Operation Mindcrime and Empire, those two albums, wow, staples. I love the song Empire, you know? It's like the whole song feels like a driving heartbeat. Hey, Dave Vanderhoff, Rush. Nobody ever talks about Animate. I love that freaking song. Animate? Or it's Animate Me? Something like that? Yeah, that's a really good one. Charlotte Coldplay. I understood that reference. I've never seen Disturbed in concert. I can't believe that. I've seen almost every freaking band you can imagine. And that's not me bragging. That's just me saying I've been to rock festivals. And oh my God, you go to rock festivals these days, you're gonna automatically check off at least freaking 24 bands. It's insane. You know? In This Moment, oh my God. I've seen In This Moment at least 3 times now because they come to every rock festival I've ever been to. You know? I guess those bands, they like to come down to Florida. You know? It's like a vacation for them. Funny story about In This Moment, though, is they were doing, I think it was one of the shows that I saw them on, and it was a Spinal Tap moment through and through, because their show has all these props and whatnot, and they got these other girls walking out. I guess you would call them like the mini Maria Brinks. And one of them's holding the sign upside down right as they walk out. And the whole crowd notices it. So they're like, oh, man, this is embarrassing. They're all supposed to be holding these signs that are supposed to be all cool and everything and edgy. But one of them's holding it upside down. So when they come out, Maria Brink's supposed to walk up on top of this big platform, whatnot. It looked kind of dangerous, actually. And then she's sitting up there. And she's got to sing this song as she's doing it. It was like, you got to be here, then you got to go here, then you got to go here. You got to do this. Don't forget to wave your arm like this. And meanwhile, you got to sing this song. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster. And sure enough, one of her props wasn't working or something like that. And you could see her physically getting angry as she's like singing the song. I don't know. It was just a really funny moment. It was a Spinal Tap moment through and through. You know, if you're a band, you don't have to. I mean, I love a freaking great stage show. Okay, I am a Kiss fanatic. All right, they put on a stage show better than most of them, just because they know how to handle and maneuver all that stuff. You know, but when all that stuff gets in the way of your performance and knowing the song, then it becomes kind of hilarious. So yeah. But yeah, that was funny. I wish In This Moment would have been more like they were when they started out and they were just kind of a straight up hardcore band. Not because of the music. I like that they went more kind of mainstream rock. I got no problem with that. But it's their image trying to convey that on stage seemed like it was a little bit of a struggle for them. All right, and it was funny for the audience though. We were laughing. All right. Okay. Do we want to get into the franchises? Oh, let me answer this text. Hold on. All right. Let's do the franchises. Let me see where my screen is here. Okay. Or actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this news story first. Yeah, I want to do this news story first. All right. So let me go news. Yeah, here we go. Because I wanted to cover this. And what is all this freaking crap that they put on your screen? It drives me nuts. I guess there was a test screening for the new Exorcist that's supposed to be coming out. And David, those of you that don't know, David Gordon Green, who did the Halloween trilogy, he's doing it's kind of a requel to the Exorcist, because you got Ellen Burstyn coming back. It's rumored that Linda Blair might be coming back. I don't know if that's actually out there yet, if that's fact. But I'm curious about this test screening. Keep in mind, too, test screenings. The very meaning of a test screening is to get information. How bad is this movie at this point? Do we need to adjust here, and here? So, as I read this, keep this in mind, okay? Because the movie that we end up seeing might be quite different than what this test screening is, all right? The Exorcist Believer reportedly bombs at test screening. The highly anticipated horror movie The Exorcist Believer reportedly bombed at a recent test screening held in New York. After reviving the Halloween franchise for 3 new installments, it was revealed that David Gordon Green was hired to do the same for The Exorcist. He has plans to direct 3 new sequels to The Exorcist, with the first movie titled The Exorcist Believer. 3 movies. Oh, okay. Due out later this year. Sadly, it looks like a test screening for The Exorcist Believer has bombed so far. Okay. Of course, these things do happen, and negative test screenings don't always mean a film will be bad, especially if the studio can now issue reshoots or other edits to clean the film up. But we'll have to see what happens on that front. As for now, there are negative reviews from the Exorcist Believer screening popping up on Letterboxd and other... Letterboxd? Huh. I've heard the Exorcist Believer test screening in New York aren't great. So it seems like all these are pretty much... Viewer Anon is a very widely known name in, I guess, the review circuit, the behind-the-scenes circuit for horror properties. You always see... This guy has the inside scoop on just about everything. It's like he's there on set, right? Yeah, so I mean there's nothing crazy here to read other than the test screenings didn't do that great. It's always worth giving a film in this stage the benefit of the doubt, especially when quite a few solid films were cut apart because of negative test screenings, which is pretty much what I said at the beginning of this. I don't want to repeat myself, but now let me go back over here so I can see you guys. Now the big thing here is, remember when they had test screenings for all 3 of the Halloween movies, and I never heard of them making any crazy changes to those test screenings. And I'll even say Halloween 2018, the test screening, I believe, went really well. I even did a video on it way back in the day. Halloween Kills, I think Yeah, this is the one I did a video on, Halloween Kills, and I remember somebody that was at that test screening reached out to me and told me that it was like the most emotional Halloween film he's ever seen and whatnot. And it's kind of interesting to think about this in hindsight. And Kills is pretty emotional, so I get what he was saying for sure. I could see how anybody could have that reaction. I absolutely love Halloween Kills. Halloween Ends. Now here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about the test screening for Halloween Ends. There were two different versions of that movie shown. I am curious because I guess the one version, the test screenings were great, through the roof even. The other one, everybody hated it. And then we have a movie that was released, and we don't know which version was released because half the audience hates it and half the audience loves it, right? And there seems to be no in between. So I would love to see that other version of Halloween Ends. And would it have the same effect? Would half the audience still, would it be a love-hate type movie? I think at the end of the day, Halloween Ends would be polarizing anyway. And I think there's so many different directions that David Gordon Green could have went with it. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping one day we do get to see, the different versions of some of these movies, if it's out there. Like there's a scene that was never released for Halloween 2018, an alternate last act, I guess, where Laurie and Michael are fighting outside instead of in the house, which I don't know. So I don't think David Gordon Green's, other than the one showing of Halloween Ends, I think he's had a pretty good track record with test screenings. This doesn't bode well for The Exorcist, though. But I don't know. I still am very, very curious about it. I think David Gordon Green he's a hit and miss director, but I think he does have his own kind of style, his own stamp to his movies. Even if you watch his movies outside of Halloween, he's an interesting director. I don't always love everything he does, but he's an interesting director. Okay, so we'll say. Now let me ask you guys this: are you looking forward to the new Exorcist movie? Do you respect that it's not a freaking remake? Or would you prefer it just be a remake and start over? I'm curious to see what you guys think. Yeah, Ashley said she's excited for it. Erica says, sadly, haven't enjoyed an Exorcist movie since part 3. I'm open to seeing this one. Yeah, and you know what? Erica brings up a good point there. I think everything that we've gotten since part 3 has been really bad. And I want a good Exorcist movie again. Wouldn't it be great if this movie came out and it was like freaking on par with Exorcist 1 and Exorcist 3? Exorcist 2 is really horrible. Horrible. I've tried a couple times. That movie's boring as hell. I can't do it. Mike Cinema. Oh my God. Are you serious? Man. Then you've never seen the scariest movie of all time. All right. That's it. Early, I guess, scariest major studio movie of all time. All right. Now, Beth says I'm not the biggest fan of Exorcist type movies. I get that. It ain't for everybody. This movie, it's heavy. The Exorcist is not a movie that I watch like Halloween. I could watch Halloween a couple times a year. Exorcist once every 5 years, maybe, if I'm lucky. You got to prep yourself for The Exorcist, But every time I've watched it, when I was done, I didn't talk to anybody for at least 2 hours, and I was so glad that it was an experience, okay? I guess that's the way to put it. It was a great freaking experience. Yeah. Charlotte, what's up? Nice to see you here. Yeah. Carly says, kind of a different because I don't really care about the original all that much. I do love The Exorcist 3, though. Wow, that's interesting. And that's the big question, too. Like, I see so many people say Exorcist 3 is better than the first. No. I love Exorcist 3. Don't get me wrong. Love it. But No, it's not better than the first. All right? No. And it didn't have the impact of the first. I mean, think about this. When people went to see that movie, oh my God, people were running out of the theaters. People were literally throwing up in the theater. I didn't hear anybody doing that in Exorcist 3, okay? That movie broke bands up. And you're like, what is Lee talking about? Leonard Skinner. It didn't break the band up, but the one of the original members of Leonard Skinner, I guess they were when they were on tour, one of the members went and seen The Exorcist. After he saw The Exorcist, he started having all these nightmares, and he was freaking out. And the guy literally started going crazy. He was paranoid. He was thinking there was, things crawling under his bed. And The Exorcist kind of triggered all that. Okay, maybe he had some underlying issues before he saw The Exorcist, but it messed him up really bad. And he ended up leaving the group. It was the original drummer. That's what it was. It was the original drummer of Leonard Skinner. And I guess it worked out for him because he wasn't on the plane, right? Yeah, and he was also on drugs. Like I said, there might have been some underlying issues, okay? But The Exorcist triggered all, that kicked it into high gear, I guess. Yeah. Hey guys, what's the last movie, or it doesn't even have to be the last movie, but what's a movie that genuinely terrified you? That you lost sleep over? That you had nightmares about? I want to know, what is the movie that did that to you? I don't think anything has come out in a long time that's really gotten really under my skin, I can give you Halloween 4. I've talked about Halloween 4 so many times. Skinamarink, I could see how even though I don't like Skinamarink, I can definitely see how it could get under your skin, for sure. It made me feel uncomfortable. It was one of those movies where I kept waiting for something to happen, like something to really, really freak me out, but it just never happened, which maybe that was the point, I guess. Texas Chainsaw 2003, that one didn't really do it. It didn't scare me. The original freaked me out, I will say that. Oh my God. When Sally's screaming at the end of that movie, Jesus. I saw somebody say that Leatherface was scarier in the remake than he was in the original. That's bullshit. No, that's bullshit, okay? No way. Leatherface in the original was freaking... He was scary, I think. It's all personal taste, I guess. Strangers, oh my God. Strangers is a really good one. Christian, what's up, brother? Man, Strangers, I have a story with The Strangers. I remember I was watching The Strangers with my wife, when it first came out. And with the knock on the door, and she screamed at the top of her lungs. And it was a very high-pitched scream, and her scream scared me. That's the effect that movie had on her. And it was creepy to me, too. Those freaking knocks on that door, pretty crazy shit. So very effective. Very effective. How about Blair Witch? The original Blair Witch, it freaked me out, too. I felt uncomfortable during the whole movie. And the end, when the guy's standing there in the corner, I needed a minute. All right? That one, it screwed me up pretty bad. And I felt very uncomfortable, and yeah. Let's see. Fire in the Sky. Yes, Scott. Very good. Fire in the Sky's got some creepy stuff. Devil's Rejects is a good one. The scene in the hotel really freaked me out. That was some crazy stuff. The Ring is a good one. The First Alien. Yeah. Even the first Halloween, I've heard people say, it was pretty freaky when it first came out. I mean, just that score is creepy. And of course, The Exorcist. And I think The Exorcist is the scariest of them all. It really is. Well, but I think like Skinamarink, Carly, I think Blair Witch is kind of the same effect, although I think Blair Witch is a lot more accessible than Skinamarink. You know? Oh, Descent. Kyle. Good one. Well, you know what scene I'm talking about. When, middle of the movie, when you got, I think it's Sam, and she's standing there, and then all of a sudden, the camera pans around, and you see the creature behind her. Whoo, man, that got me. That was really good. The Thing, yes. There's a lot of scary movies out there. A lot of scary, but what's the last one that came out? It's been a while since we had one that was really scary. I remember they were trying to market Veronica a few years ago, that Spanish horror movie, as like the scariest movie of all time. I guess it's a strategy, right? It's a bold strategy, Cotton. But after I watched it, I was like, that's the scariest. Are you kidding me? Jesus. It's copying The Exorcist. Okay? All right. So, all right, guys. Now we're going to get into what is the best horror franchise. Today you're going to find out 100% what the best horror franchise is. At least mine, anyway. You're not going to learn much, okay? But we're going to have fun talking about it. All right, man, we're making good time. I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to fill this 2 hours, but yeah, we got this. All right, guys. I put in some man hours, guys. I studied the science, and I got some data, right? I opened up some spreadsheets, and I got some numbers. Okay, I got numerical data for you guys pertaining to me. All right. Still, it's emotion driven. All right. These are still my opinions on these movies, but you get to play along, okay? Because I'm going to find out what you guys think too along the way. So to kick the doors open, just go ahead right now. Give me your top 3 franchises, okay? Top 3 franchises. And I'm going to give you my top 5. Should I do that first and then give you the science? Or should I give you the science first and then give you my personal top 5? Because my personal top 5 is going to be different than what the actual scientific answer is. Even my scientific answer is different than my overall favorite horror franchise. All right, you'll see what I mean when we get there. Okay, Human Centipede, Sharknado, off to the races. Christian says Elm Street. Let's see. Ginger Snaps. Ooh, that's a good one. Jason, Evil Dead, Friday the 13th, Scream, Halloween. Chester says Halloween, Friday, Elm Street, my top 3. A big 3. He likes the big 3. I love that. James says Halloween, Nightmare Friday. A lot of people love the big 3. Charlotte says Halloween, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street. Brock says Alien, Terminator, Predator. Ooh, I like that. Brock. There you go. That's good stuff. Erica says Halloween, Alien, Nightmare. I like that very much. Anthony says Evil Dead, Alien, Carpenter's Apocalypse Trilogy. We got a winner, guys. Anthony is the big winner. He's all grows up. Okay, he's all grows up. He's the big winner. All right. Who's the big winner? Anthony is. Okay. Beth says Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Terminator. I'm guessing that counts since it's on your thumbnail. Thank you very much, Beth. It does count. A lot of people are going to be mad because I put Terminator on here, but the first Terminator is a horror movie, okay? It's science, bitch. All right, here we go. Have a good one, Ashley. All right. Paranormal Activity also made an ungodly amount of money. Ooh, Christian, that's a good. I wish I would have done some research to find out what the most successful, like lucrative franchises are. I think for as far as slashers go, for the longest time it might have been Friday, but I think Halloween probably just passed it. Because these last 3 movies, despite the controversial opinions, made a buttload of money. All right, they made a buttload of money, even ends. So, I mean, it's in terms of slashers and how much it costs to make them. Yeah. All right. So let me. I did an Excel sheet, and I also. All right. So let me just show you this first. We'll show you this first, okay? A little something I made here. All right. And let me take that off. Oh yeah, it's at the bottom here. Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right, so this is a little cheat sheet that I made. Get my chat up here so you guys see. Okay, so here's a little cheat sheet I made. All right, just a test case because, I mean, there's a lot of franchises out there. Okay, so I just took 3 random franchises just to kind of give you a little bit of the science behind this. Let's take Halloween, Terminator, Alien. Okay, face value, guys. What do you think? What do you think's the best franchise scientifically of those 3? Okay, and your answer is probably going to be different than mine because your rating of those movies is definitely going to be different than my rating. So, I mean, you might be able to jot these down yourself and come up with your own scientific answer, but as far as, like, let's take Halloween. All right, Halloween here. Okay, first movie I gave it a 10. Halloween 2 7.5. These are out of 10. Halloween 3 7.4. 9.5. 6.25. 7.7. So I get pretty anal about these. 7.2. Halloween Resurrection is my lowest ranked. I give that one a 4. Rob Zombie's Halloween 5. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 an 8. Love that one. Halloween 2018, I give it a 7. I give Kills an 8, and I give Ends a 9er. You guys are pissed. Some of you are unsubscribing. I've literally had people say that. Because you like Halloween Ends, I'm unsubscribing your channel. And I said, the door is over there. It's not over there. Okay, that's the bathroom. You want to go out that door. Okay, and then step out that door and take a flying leap off of a fucking cliff. All right. But so you got to be fair about this because there's 13 Halloween movies, right? So then you got your Terminator and your Alien. They both have six movies, right? So Terminator, I give it a 10. Guys, what's better, Terminator or Terminator 2? All right, what's the better movie? Let me know. All right. And is Terminator 3 a sack of shit? Is it really? I don't like it. I don't like Terminator 3. Okay, I'm being fair. I'm being generous by giving it a 6. All right, you're lucky I gave it a 6 because I could have given it a 4 and still slept good tonight. All right. Okay, T2 Terminator. T2 depends on my mood. I like that answer, Scott. That's a good answer. Original Terminator. T2 Sperminator. Fofana. Both Terminators are equally amazing. I like T3. It's okay. I also enjoy 5. Vinny. There you go. By the way, Chappie, he asked me, I'm going to pick on Chappie a little bit here, right? Tony Chappie. He said he sent me this Electra because I'm ranking all the non-Marvel MCU movies, right, guys? Remember I did the MCU movies? I ranked all 32 of them. Now I'm ranking all non-MCU movies, okay? So a while back, he sent me Electra, and I didn't remember that movie at all. And he was like, would you consider doing a Hear Me Out? I have this series called Hear Me Out. If I think a movie's underrated, if it's shit on all the time, and if I like it, I'll do a Hear Me Out. I've done it for the RoboCop remake. Sorry. I did it for Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's the door, flying cliff. All right, jump right off of it. So I watched Electra the other day, I didn't get back to him yet. I should have. But I can't do a Hear Me Out. That's a horrible movie. It's with a capital H. A horrible, horrible movie. Ugh. Electra was bad. I was thinking about doing a review, but it wouldn't be a Hear Me Out. It might be a fun review, though, actually. Because, wow. That movie has the big cardinal mistake of taking itself way too seriously, but not having the cojones to back it up. You know? We don't have the fight choreographer's got diarrhea right now, okay? And we got to shoot this scene. Let's just do the whole thing in slow motion. You know, you got problems like that in that movie, right? So, yeah. But anyway, back to this. Electra it's almost like impressively bad, okay? It's like impressively bad. Wow. She's in a mood the whole movie, too. She's pissed off. You just gotta, you were just brought back to life. You were just brought back to life. You're given a second chance and you're pissed off? Get the fuck out of here. All right. Terminator Salvation. What do you guys think about Terminator Salvation? Boogeyman, we can't talk about Halloween Ends anymore, okay? We're done talking about Halloween Ends. All right? I'm just kidding, Boogeyman. You can talk about Halloween Ends all you want, okay? Some people, and I'm on the flip side of this, okay? But some people, they wake up and the first thing they say is Halloween Ends sucks. Before they say good morning, before they get their orange juice, they literally wake up, they wipe their eye like this and they go, God, Halloween Ends sucks. You know, that's what gives them their mojo to get through their day. I know it. I've seen it. All right? It's crazy how much this movie has affected people. Jesus. You know. But on the flip side, I get up and I say, Halloween Ends was refreshing. Oh, God. What's for fucking breakfast? Okay. Terminator Salvation, I like. I think it's a good freaking movie, and I didn't think you really needed the Arnold cameo at the end of the movie. All right? So, I don't think it's perfect. It's got some problems. I don't think Christian Bale is a very good John Connor, which is a big problem with the entire franchise. They can't get John Connor right. It's sad. Terminator Genesis, woof. And I'll admit, I was pretty nice to that movie on my review when it first came out. I think like 7 years ago. Maybe I was in a really good mood that night, but then I went back and watched it again, and I was like, what the hell was I thinking? That was not good. Genesis, what they did to John Connor is a freaking crime. It's horrible. It's horrible. So, it's just not a good movie. You know, it's just not a good movie. All right. I say I like Dark Fate better than Genesis. Dark Fate, it's got its problems for sure. But what I will say is what was the name of the villain in that movie? I already forgot. The T something. Was it? It wasn't the TX. What was he, guys? Was he the T7? The T2.0? I can't remember what he was called. But I liked him. I thought he was good. And it was cool to see Linda Hamilton back, you know? So I could watch it. You know, actually, I'm going to change this. Not that it matters anyway. But because I gave T3, I prefer it over T3 if I'm being honest. You know what? I'll keep them the same. I think they're about the same anyway. They both have their pros and cons, right? Guys, what's better? Is it correct me, all right? Is it Dark Fate or is it Salvation? Salvation's better than both. Is it Dark Fate or is it T3? Which one is the better movie, all right? Dark Fate had some good action in it, okay? What they did to John Connor at the beginning, I understand why they did it, even though it still was a solid kick in the nuts. But, yeah. Anthony says T3. Kyle says Dark Fate. Erica says, it all should have ended with T2. By T3, everyone's like, well, fuck, I guess they're doing this now. Yeah, pretty much. Dark Fate over T3, hands down. You know, here's the sad thing when you take all this into account. Wouldn't it have been great if the third Terminator movie was like almost just as good as the previous two and they just kind of wrapped the whole thing up? I mean, and you just had this amazing trilogy. Like the Terminator had a good chance to be an amazing trilogy. But I just remember back in the day after Terminator 2 came out, I was like, nobody thought Terminator 3 was ever going to come out, you know? And I think there was a big like licensing struggle with the movie. And it took a long time for T3 to finally come out, you know? And I remember when they announced it, I was pretty excited. I was like, oh shit, we got Terminator 3 coming out. This is going to be great. But Jonathan Mustow directed it, and nothing against Jonathan Mustow, but he's not James Cameron. So that was the first big problem. All right. So anyway, Alien. Now let's go to Alien. All right. And man, you guys' ratings of the Alien movies is probably gonna be quite different than me. Yes, I am old, Scott. I'm very old. I'll be 50 years old this year. Holy shit. In a couple months. All right. So Alien and Aliens, guys, what's the better movie? Is it Alien or is it Aliens? Okay. Vinny, yes, I saw the Terminator TV series back in the day. It's okay. It's probably better than Terminator 3. I'll say that. Aliens. Scott, depends on my mood. Good answer. Aliens. Guys, you guys are surprising me with how wrong you are because it's Alien. And look at my rating there. I gave both a 10, but you know, if I gotta pick one, it's Alien. I gotta pick one. Okay? Yeah. But most of you are saying Aliens. All right, I respect that. I just, you know what? I love Aliens. Did what a sequel should do. It's definitely nothing like the first Alien. You know, it's a kick-ass action movie, is what it is. Great characters, but you know, the first one is an exercise in tension, and it's got one of the greatest freaking creatures ever concocted. You know, so Alien 3, I actually have a soft spot for. I like that movie. Alien Resurrection, it's got, you know, Alien Resurrection, man, it had a lot going for it. I love that Michael Wincott was in it. But man, they lost me at the what was it? The mother alien? Is that what you would call it? The human alien? I don't know what it was at the end, but man, that thing was weird. And it scared me for the wrong reasons. All right. Now, here we go. Here's where we get controversial. Prometheus and Covenant. Those two movies are freaking masterpieces in my mind. I know a lot of you guys don't like Covenant, but you know, I've even questioned myself. Am I wrong here? And should I give it another watch? And I did. I watched it like 2 or 3 times. I love Covenant to death. So freaking good. Charlotte, it really is. Like, most people seem to like hate that movie. I think, guys, would you agree that Covenant is the Halloween Ends of the Alien franchise? Is that a fair assessment? I think it is. And what does that say about me that I love both those movies? I don't know. And they go so well together, I think. You know, like, if I watch Prometheus, I usually want to watch Covenant right after. Yeah. Angel, what's up, man? How you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, here's my point. Okay, so these 3 movies, what I did was, if I go over here, I put my thinking cap on and I did like an Excel sheet that did like the total and the average, okay? Because that's what matters. The average, can you guys see that on your screen? Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. I mean, I can make it bigger, but yeah. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you. There you go. So now you can kind of see what I'm jiving at here. Now this is my personal ranking. So I got 7.42 for Halloween, 7.41 for Terminator. Look at this. Alien because of Prometheus and Covenant, 8.6. And I might be able to go ahead and say, scientifically, Alien might be my favorite franchise. Scientifically, Alien. So I'm giving you guys homework, all right? I need you guys to pay attention in class. I need your number 2 pencils, and I need you guys to do your homework. And I want you to average, I want you to score these, and I want you to average them out, and I want you to tell me what your scientific favorite franchise is, all right? Your scientific favorite franchise. Because, everybody always says Scream or Evil Dead are like the best franchises, but I did my own Scream thing right here. And sometimes I might like certain movies much better than certain Scream movies. Are all the Scream movies good? Yeah. They're solid flicks. But are they Prometheus good? Are they Covenant good? Are they Alien good? Are the Aliens good? There's where there's where you kind of weigh your factors. And Alien 3 and Resurrection's not necessarily a good movie. Or Alien 3 to some people. But because Alien has 4 movies that are like top tier in my book, then it's going to... Look at this. You're looking at Scream, okay? You're looking at an 8.6 over a 7.41. Matter of fact, look at this, guys. I just realized this. Scream is equal to Terminator. Isn't that crazy? And that's because Terminator 1 and 2 are so freaking good. All right? There's the difference. Something to think about, right, guys? Something to think about, okay? Alien probably has more consistent quality. Bozo, yep. Sharknado, Scott S. Let's see. Nighttime loves Alien 3. I love the assembly cut. I do love the assembly cut. Okay. Scott says Scream is mainstream BS. Well, here's the thing about Scream. I think the type of movie that Scream is, I think it's easier to make that type of movie good. I think it's easier to make that type of movie fun, And sometimes fun gets a pass as good, right? Like even the arguably the movie that people like the least out of Scream is Scream 3, okay? I know some of you love Scream 3 to death. It's your favorite movie in the franchise. You're weird and edgy. I get that, okay? But most people seem to think Scream 3 is the worst movie. But it's still fun. It's still a fun movie, okay? So people, their knee-jerk reaction is to say, and the reason I did this whole thing is because of Scream and Evil Dead. And I constantly heard these. Scream's the most consistent franchise. Evil Dead's the most consistent franchise. These are the best franchises. So I figured, you know what? Let's put it to the test, right? Let's put it to... Hell, even Halloween with 13 movies, okay? And how many of those movies can we say are great? All right? Right? Yes, Carly, you are definitely weird and edgy. That's a good thing. Like maybe 5 of the Halloween movies are considered, great. I don't know. Halloween takes risks, though. I think that's one thing I like about that franchise. You have movies like Resurrection that are bad, that are a 4. Halloween 5, Rob Zombie's Halloween. But, it kind of evens out with some of the greatness. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, for me. Great. So I give it a freaking... Hey, then this David Gordon Green trilogy right here. You got a freaking Halloween Ends with a 9. You got Kills with an 8. You got some big contenders up here. So it gets it to a 7.4. Matter of fact, look at this, guys. Another thing I just noticed. Halloween is better than Scream for me. Even by the science. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm going to do Evil Dead for you right now live. All right, let's find out where Evil Dead lands. All right. Okay. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what. I'll do one. I'll do one for you guys, okay? Let me see if I minimize this and then I do like that. Okay. I'll tell you what. All right, I'll do one for you guys, all right? So I'm going to... Is that going to let me click on that? It's like my thing's freaking locked. That's weird. Did I lock the freaking Excel sheet? Yeah, it won't let me do it. I was going to change it for you guys, but it won't let me. That is freaking weird. Why is it doing that? That's very strange. Maybe if I close it and reopen it. I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Let me close that. That. Go to here. There we go. Okay. You know what? I'm going to let you guys tell me what you think Scream is. All right, here we go. Hold on. All right, so. Okay. So Scream 1, what would you guys give it? Out of 10. What would you guys give it? And I'll kind of just average what you guys say, okay? Scream 1, out of 10. Out of 10. All right, I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 10 just because you guys said 10, okay? All right. Scream 2. Scream 2. All right? Scream 2. What do you guys think? 9.5, 5, 10, 6 for me, 7 tops. 1. Michael Joe doesn't like Scream 2. 8, 9, 8. So you know what? To average it out, I'm going to give it an 8. All right? I'm going to give it an 8. All right? There we go. Okay. Scream 3. Scream 3. Here's where it gets interesting, okay? What do you guys give Scream 3? The first person to do it, type Scream 3 so we know that, that's what we're on. Okay. I'm giving you the power. Carly, I know you're talking about Scream 3. 7, 5, 3, 5, 7.5. So I'm going to give Scream 3 a 7. All right. I'm going to give it a 7, which surprises me. Okay. Okay. Scream 4. Scream 4. Scream 4. All right. This is fun. This is fun. Scream 4. Thank you, Beth. Beth knows what she's doing. All right. Kyle gives it a 10. Nathan gives it a 9. I give it an 8. 4 is a 7. 7.5. 7. 8. 9. Ugh. This is tough. I'm going to give it... What do you think, guys? Beth, what do you think? Do you think I should give that a 7? Is that about a 7 for the average? I think it's about a 7. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 7. I don't know. I'm seeing some of the numbers go down, though. You know what? I'll give it a 6.5, all right? 6.5. Okay. All right, here we go. Scream 5, all right? Scream 5. Scream 5. Scream 5. Five cream. Yeah. Okay. 8 out of 10. 5, 8. 5 is 6. 7.5. 8.5. 8. 8. I might be... I'm thinking maybe a 7.5. That's what I'm thinking you guys are averaging there. All right? Would you guys agree with that? 7.5? Oh, my filter. Hold on. Let me tighten this up. Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. All right. 7.5. Okay, there we go. And Scream 6. Scream 6. This could go anywhere, Scream 6. Okay? I'm giving you guys the chance to put Scream at the top. Okay? And so far, you're not doing a great job. All right, guys? You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? 7, 6, 9.5, 8.5, 8, 9, 8, 6 out of 10, 9, 8, 10. Ooh. I'm thinking we might have an 8 at least out of this, guys. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. It looks like we're kind of evening out on an 8. All right, so guys, I think I did better than you guys. Pretty much averaged out what I said with Scream. 7.4. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right, 7.4. You guys make Halloween better than Scream. You know what? To be fair, we'll do Halloween. All right, you guys can. All right, we'll do Halloween because you can't go by. I'm really biased on Halloween. All right, you guys want to do Halloween? Let's do it. Okay. All right. Beth, type Halloween 1. Halloween 1. Let's do this, all right? Let's see what's better. Okay. Scott says 11. 10, 11, 10. Yeah, I think it's safe to give Halloween a 10. Yeah. We're definitely giving that a 10. Okay, Halloween 2. This is going to be interesting because I gave Halloween 2 like a 7, 7.5. 9, 8, 8.5, 9, 7, 7, 8, 10, 6, 9, 8. Man, you guys are really repping Halloween 2. What do you guys think? Maybe an 8? I should give it an 8. Is that too low? You think I'm giving it too low if I give it an 8? I'll give it an 8. If you guys want to appeal that, let me know, okay? I'm going to stick with an 8 though for now. All right, Halloween 3, guys. Stop it. Halloween 3. Halloween 3. Halloween 3. We got a 6.5, a 10, an 8.5, 8, 5. It's all over the place. 10, 7.5, 10, 8.5, 10, 8, 9, 8. Okay, so we might have to give this an 8 too. Well, Charlotte's going to bring it down if she has anything to say about it. 8.5. You know what? What do you guys think? Maybe a 7.5? You know what? I've seen a lot of heavy ratings on. Should I give it an 8? You guys tell me, 8 or 7.5. Type that right now. 8 or 7.5. You know what? I'll give it a 7.5. 7.75. I like that. All right, here we go. How about 7.77? Okay. 4. Okay, Halloween 4. It's a 4-hour drive. This guy you picking up, he murdered 16 people, maybe more, trying to get to his sister. Okay. 8, 8.5, 5, 9.5. Bozo McFart part. That's a great name. 6, 100%. Is that a rating? 100%? I like it. 7, 8.5, 9, 8, 8, 10, 9.5, 7, 7.13, 10.10, 10, 10. Ooh. Should I give it a 9? Let me know if I'm wrong here, but I'm going to give this a 9. I think 4's a 9. from you guys. All right. If I'm too high, let me know. Halloween 5. The Revenge of Michael Myers. Halloween 5. Halloween 5. Okay. 4. 9. Wow. 7.8 also. Wow. 9. 7.5. 2. 5. This is going to be tough. 5.5. 6. 4. Damn, I'm thinking maybe a 6.9. Yeah. What do you guys think? 6.9 for Halloween 5? Does that sound about right? Tell me if I'm wrong. 6.9. I'm going to give it a 6.9. That's what it seems like. Okay. Halloween 6. The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween 6. 8. 6.66. Of course. That's high for 5, y'all are being generous. Maybe I am. Should I give it a 6.7? 6.5, 6.6, 7, 7, 9, 6, 6. I think we might have to give it a 6. All right. 7 point, but I do see some of you guys like me. I'd give 6 like a freaking 9. I love that movie so much. 7, 6. We're gonna go theatrical cut. Nuclear Fusion. 8, 9. I'll give it a 7.5. Does that sound good to you guys, or is that too high? I'll give it a 7.5. Let me know if that's too high, though. Let me know if that's too high. I'm thinking 7.5 should be good. Okay. H2O. Halloween H2O. Too high? I'll go 7 then. Okay, I'll go 7. There you go. 7. Okay. Okay, 7. Halloween H2O. Halloween H2O. Okay, we got 8, 7.5, 9, 8.5, 8, 8, 5. Watered down, ironically. 10 out of 10, 6, 5, 7, 7. 7 out of 10, 5, 8, 6. What do you guys think? Where am I landing at here? It's kind of all over the place. I mean, a 7 again? Am I at a 7? I'll give it a 7.2. All right, I'll give it a 7.2. Tell me if that's unfair. 7.2. Okay? All right. Halloween Resurrection. Halloween Resurrection. Halloween Resurrection. 0.0, Michael Joe says. Resurrection. Halloween Resurrection. A 4. Resurrection is an 8.9. 2, 7.2, 3, 1, 2, 1. 50%, which is a 5, I think. Garbage. My 4 might have been on fucking par. Trash. Resurrection never happened. 3. Guys, I'm just going to give it a 4. Am I wrong here? If that's too high, let me know. But I'm just going to go play it safe and give it a 4. All right? So, here we go. Here's where it gets interesting. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween. A 2. Carly says she's okay with it. So that's like a 5. Is that, would it be a 6 maybe, Carly? Resurrection blows. We're on Rob Zombie's Halloween now, guys. 2, 7, 10, 3, 8.5, 8.5, 8, 6, 0, 8, 7, 9, 8, 6, 3, 7.5. I think Nuclear Fusion kind of nailed it there. I think it's a 7.5, guys. I think it's a 7.5. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. I think it's 7.5. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I have 3 empty bottles of water, 1 empty bottle of Gatorade. Okay. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Daniel Harris is not a number. 6 to 9.5, 9, 8, 10 for me. 5.5, 9, 6, 10, 1. Pretty much sums it up. 9, 10, 7, 8.5, 7. Masterpiece. Halloween 2 is just a prank. 0.5, 9, 3. I'm going to go with a 7 because it's all over the fucking place. And let me know if that's too high, guys. I'll give it a 6.9. All right? How about that? 6.7. I'll give it a 6.7. Does that sound good for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Okay. David Gordon Green Trilogy, Halloween 2018. Too low, too high. See, guys, you just answered my question right there. Halloween 2018. Yeah, I love Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, by the way, guys. I give it a 9. I love it to death. All right. Rob Zombie's. No. Halloween 2018. Halloween 2018. 8, 7, 7, 10, 9, 7, 7, 10, 7, 7.5, 8, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. 10, 10. We might, guys, I think an 8. I think we're giving this one an 8. Am I right, guys? Is that too low? Okay. Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills. All right. Halloween Kills. Thank you, Beth. All right. So 8, 8.5, 7, 7.8, 5.5, 5, 5, 7, 9, 8.5, 10, 9 out of 10, 9, 6, 7, 10, 7.5, 11. I was thinking, damn, a lot of you guys, but then you get a 5 and a 2. So, Jesus, where'd I go with this one? Jesus. Do we do a 6.9 again? 7. Maybe Amber's right. Maybe 7.5. What do you guys think? Is Amber right? Should I just give it a 7.5 or is that way too high? Let me know, guys. All right. All right. Let me know if I'm way too high there. I think 7.5 is the average I'm seeing there, though. It's just because it's all over the place. 7. Nuclear fusion, I'll give it a 7. You might be right. You might be right, nuclear fusion. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. We're going to get 10s and 1s, okay? Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends. All right. Wow. A bit too high, about right. Okay. So I'll stick with it. I'll stick with a 7. Okay. 2, 9.5, 9.5, 5, 1, 1, 9, 10, 8, 1, 10, 9, 6, gay. 7.5, 5, 8.5. No comment. 5, 5, 4. I might be going with just a solid 5 on Ends. Is that too low, guys? But then I'm seeing some 10s. I mean, I rated a 9, okay? But I'm trying to be fair to you guys. 5, guys, what do you think about 5.5? Because that pretty much sums up the polarizing nature of the movie. I'll give it a 5.5. Let me know if you guys agree with that, okay? 6 is fair. Way too low. Too damn high. 6, please. 5 is perfect. 6.5 would be fair. Thank you, Beth. I'll go with 6.5. Okay. 6.5. All right. So there you go, guys. So by that average, you guys put Scream just barely above Halloween. Okay? Just barely above Halloween. Damn. That was fun, though. That was fun. So I guess the whole point, and I didn't give you, let me give you my top 5 real quick. I wrote it down for you. My actual top 5, this is not scientific. Okay. All right. So here are, real quick, my actual top 5. These are just my heart. These are the ones I love, okay? These are the ones that like if I'm like I want to throw in a franchise. What's the first one I'm gonna pick? This would be my top 5. All right, so I'll go number 5 first. Number 5 would be Scream for me. Number 4 would be Friday the 13th. Number 3 would be. Do I want to put that at number 2 though? No, I'll put it at number 3. Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 2 would be Alien, and number 1 would be Halloween. So, yeah, that's a solid top 5 for me for franchises. All right, there you go. All right. So, Wrong Turn, worst franchise. Not. I went through the Wrong Turn movies, although I still owe you guys a Wrong Turn 2 review. That franchise turned out to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I had a good time with most of those movies. I mean, they're not great, but they're okay. It's a solid 7 franchise in my book. What about non-horror franchises? Would love to hear your top 3. Non-horror, I'd say Star Wars is probably my number 1. Number 2 would probably be Rocky. Yeah, that's a solid top 2. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of what, because I like Die Hard. I like Indiana Jones. I mean, would you consider the MCU a franchise? I don't know. I guess so, yeah. I guess maybe MCU for non-horror. That was a good question though, Beth. Yeah, I mean, that's not the best answer, but it's the answer I have right now for non-horror. Okay? Twilight is my 3rd. But that's horror. It's a different type of horror, though. Yeah. 50 Shades? That's number 4. Yeah, I guess X-Men's its own. I just went through the X-Men movies recently, too, actually. I actually watched Apocalypse last night. X-Men Apocalypse. I watched that last night. It's a movie. Yeah. So, I mean, Dark Knight. Oh my God. The Batman. I guess the Christopher Nolan trilogy is definitely in my top 3 for sure. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Alan. You set me straight. All right. Yeah. Christopher Nolan trilogy would be my number 3. There you go. All right. Damn, guys, this was a lot of fun. I had a great time with you guys tonight. It flew by so good. I said so good because you said Logan is so good nighttime. Yeah. So, I could actually if you guys liked did you guys like what we did where I let you guys kind of give your own score for something? Was that cool, or would you never ever want to do that again? I thought it was fun, just to see if your ranking would be or your rating would be quite different than mine for, like, say, Halloween. Yes, that was fun. Did I miss the Elm Street? We didn't do Elm Street, but what I was thinking was the reason I asked this was because on the next stream, we could do other franchises if you want. I'll give you mine, and then we can compare them, and you guys can do it. And I love Kyle, totally engaging. I love doing that stuff. So, yeah, that's my end goal anytime I do one of these, is I want to make it interactive with you guys. I hate when I'm just a freaking talking head and you guys have to sit there and listen. All right? So, yeah. So, you know what? Then we'll do that. The next one we'll do Nightmare, and we'll do a couple of the other franchises, Because I didn't really get your rankings on, like, Alien and Terminator and all those. So, yeah, and maybe we can even do some non-horror. That could be fun, right? So, I was going to do prank horror for you guys tonight, but we ran out of time. So, we'll do that one next time, too, okay? We'll do, like, 10 prank horror movies, all right? So, and I'll get some slides and everything. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much. This was so fun. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I love you guys to death. And, yeah,